Hi, Professor. Today we are going to give a demo on Nmap tool, which is a network security tool. So our team name is CyberSquad. So the list of participants are Avinash, me, Sahiti, and Praveen Reddy. So today we are going to discuss on a list of contents, like what are all the things we are going to discuss today are described here, like introduction to Nmap and what are the tools and what is its language and what are the experiments we did. So coming to the Nmap introduction, so Nmap is basically a network mapper. It's a discovery tool that is used for doing a security auditing and also to perform a vulnerability assessment. So basically Nmap, it uses the raw IP packets as a part of to determine what hosts are available in the network and what services a particular network has and what is its version and what are the hosts available in that network and what operating system that particular version is running on, and various other options we have in this Nmap tool. So Nmap is basically compatible with all the operating systems such as Linux, Windows, and Mac. Coming to the overview of Nmap, like how Nmap works is represented here. So if you can see here, we have a DNS lookup and it does a ping process. It then reverses the DNS lookup and then executes the scan. So Nmap supports various files like Nmap services, Nmap prefixes, and it also has various NSE scripts where it executes to do the scanning process. And it also helps in doing a port scan where it provides a result with a list of the ports, with a list of open and closed ports of TCP and UDP. Coming to the security architecture of the Nmap, Nmap architecture is described in this way, like it has Nmap module, it has a network scanning, it has a vulnerability assessment too. So in Nmap module, it has Nmap shell commands where it has various enormous number of commands which helps us to do a scan on the network. It also has NSE scripts. So the motivation thing will be discussed by my teammate Praveen.
So I'm gonna talk about the motivation. Firstly, the identify internal external threats by employing a network vulnerability scanner to examine a vulnerabilities, and the other thing is creating and utilizing a web-based tool for detecting vulnerabilities in computers and computer systems and networks. So this aids to understanding the significance of network security as well as particularly in the contemporary of vulnerability scanners. Our primary goal is to improve the risk and assessment process by merging the techniques such as Nmap and minimizing the administrative complexity. Could you please? Yeah, Tom. So the design of our experiment. So we have an entire category of scripts that scan the target for vulnerabilities. So the following commands aids in execution of all scripts against the target IP address or domain. So the target will be the semur.instructure.com. It's a domain. So the commands which we are used are for actively exploiting the detector vulnerabilities. So for this, so we have given the script over here, the nmap script exploit semur.instructure.com for service version detection. So it helps to detect the service version of the domain. So it would be nmap sv with a domain name. So other thing is to detect the malware infection of remote host. So it will be nmap sv. So the script will be here. So we need to enter http malware and the host name semo.instructure.com. So could you please move on to the 8th slide? The parameters of security achievement. So these are the following parameters describe the achievement of security with Nmap tool. So the authentication and access control. So the coming to authentication, it is a process is one of the issues of vulnerabilities assessment. If the authentication are properly configured, they recognize the vulnerabilities of for which signatures are defined. So unauthenticated filtering can provide for some benefit, and failure to leverage the unauthenticated scanning drastically diminishes the scanner viability. So, and about the access control, it is a procedure by which users are recognized and allowed privileges into the information resources and systems. So the following are the some of the access controls provided by Nmap tool. So the allow the host, we need to put a allow and host name. And the allow file, we need to put a file name and dna file. So can you move on to technical content? So technical content, the platforms. So Nagios, OpenVS, Snowflake, Ncentral, Aircrack, NetSparker, New Relic One, and OpenSCAP and SolarWinds Network Configuration Manager are some of the additional network security technologies available. So coming to Nmap platform, Nmap was a once Unix and only tool. However, in a 2000, Windows version of Nmap was created, and it has since become a second most used Nmap platform behind Linux. So yeah, so the languages. So an immutable liver interpreter lies at heart of Nmap engine. So Nmap contains a scripting engine called live program language that may be used to create a automatic and default scripts for vulnerability scanning. LUA is an extensible language that is strong, efficient, and lightweight. So the NSC library, which integrates LUA with Nmap and the second half of Nmap scripting engine. So tools to be used. So the graphical version of Nmap, Zenmap is a multi-platform graphical Nmap interface that makes it simple to use for beginners. So it offers a GUI interface so that allows you to save scans, see the network topology, save topology designs, view host information, scan details, and host on a network, as well as save the scans in a searchable database. So handing over to Avinash. Avinash, can you take over this penetration testing?
Yeah, sure. Hello, Professor. This is Avinash. I'll be talking about penetration testing and other slides in the project. So Nmap is widely used during penetration testing process, and a lot of information will be gathered during the correct connection on the target. So if you go to the image design diagram, so the target scoping, we generally use Nmap GUI to perform the scanning on the penetration testing and reporting the delivering results. So finally, we report the results, and then we compare the results and analyze the results and consequences again. So this is a looping concept. So we do this for penetration testing using Nmap. So coming to this slide, why Nmap relevant to our current class? So Nmap helps the network administrators to identify the devices running on the system and also discover the hosts that are available along the service. So Nmap also helps in knowing the devices that are running and identify hosts when we join into a new organization in future. So it will be easy to learn the tool. Yeah. So the major task for final submission in this project would include demonstrating how to use Zenmap tool, uh, and how does it scan the vulnerabilities in the system, and also the port scanning and service discovery, and checking the network scanner Nmap module is operational or not, and working on checking the network topology and generating different outputs like tabular format, 3D view, and graphical view. So yeah, these are going to be in the final submission. And coming to the summary, every day vulnerabilities are found in commonly used software products and networks and computer networks. So a network scanner developed in this project is an application which is used to scan the network and also report and identify the vulnerabilities. So this is basically a GUI web-based tool. So it deals with two important aspects of network security. One of them is network scanning and the vulnerability assessment. So my teammate Sahiti would show her screen and will give demonstration on Nmap tool.
Yeah, thanks,
Uh,
Avinash. Yeah, hi, Professor. Like now we'll be demoing a few scripts that Praveen has discussed, like how we do a scan using the Nmap tool. So basically, this is the Nmap tool which we see, and here we can provide the target and the command. We can run the scan so that the results will be displayed. So let me run a script which helps to suppose if I'm just running a sample script to detect if there are any malware infections on our site. So like this is the command we use, and the target is semoinstruction.com. So we can either click on enter or click on the scan button to scan the results. So once we click on scan, the scan gets started, and it may take some 20 to 22 seconds, something like that, to run the scan. And once the scan is run, it actually clearly lists out if there are any malware instructions on the site or not. So likewise, we have an enormous number of scripts which are available, which helps us to scan the network appropriately. So we can see here the scanning is done and it is performed, and the network is completely scanned in 20 seconds. And here we can see like the host appears to be clean and there is no malware infection on the site. So using these scripts, it's very useful to easily monitor the network and find out if there are any malware infections, or if there are any DOS attacks, or if there are any closed ports. So probably in our final demo, we will show a detailed explanation of how each of the scripts works and how we can monitor the network. Yeah, thank you, Professor.